Two men face several felony charges in connection with a brutal weekend beating.
That beating left one man severely injured. It also led to 3 arrests.
But some are saying there is more to this case than a weekend fight. News 10's Joe Ostrowski has been looking for answers. He joins us with our top story. Joe?
Well, Mark Patrice, early Sunday morning, sheriff's deputies were called to a quiet stretch of road in rural Vigo County. Once there, they found a man named Brandon Pettiford lying on the ground. His injuries were so severe, he couldn't speak. A woman who'd been riding with Pettiford that night told authorities the two had left a party after a fight and had been chased down these country roads by 3 people in a white truck. She said the 3 tried running them off the road, eventually stopped their car, pulled Pettiford out of his car, and beat him. Later that night, police arrested 3 people for the beating: David Rahel, Jesse Norton, and Brittany Parrish. Today, Rahel and Norton were formally charged with felony counts of aggravated battery, battery with a deadly weapon, and criminal recklessness, along with misdemeanor battery charges. But despite those charges, an online group is calling for something else. They say the beating was racially motivated, and they want Rahel and Norton charged with a hate crime. Prosecutors say there's a problem with that. Indiana doesn't have a hate crime law.
There's not a hate crime in Indiana, so obviously if there's not a statute that exists making it a crime, then you can't file it. So what we have to do is take the facts of each case and see what crimes do fit.
Vigo County Prosecutor Terry Modisett says he'd favor a hate crime law, but he says right now racial motivation only comes into play when someone is sentenced for a crime.
Our statute lists different aggravators that you can look at as far as asking for a higher sentence versus mitigators. That means that any sentencing hearing with regard to cases, then we can argue those things as far as asking for an enhanced sentence.
Now, one other note. After today's hearing, I spoke with the father and stepmother of one of the defendants. They did not want to appear on camera, but here's what they had to say. They say if their son is convicted of these charges because of the severity of the beating, he should serve a hefty sentence. Mark Patrice, back to you.
Thank you, Joe.